NBC10 political commentator Sue O'Connell joining us. All right, Sue, one full week of the campaign left.
That's it?
You are.
Oh, I got to go then.
Thank goodness. You are a campaign manager, O'Connell, tonight. How should Kamala Harris spend her time? What should Donald Trump be doing?
Well, Corey, by this moment, this very moment in time, if the campaigns are organized, they should know in each swing state exactly how many people have already voted, what party and gender and what age the breakdown of the vote is. And that data will help them understand how many votes they need to win a battleground and where they might get those votes. So that means each campaign right now should have a closing argument directed to those voters who haven't voted yet but may still be gettable from the campaigns. And I think Harris is going to try and recapture some of that joy from the way early days of the campaign, remember, which was just a couple of months ago, and then put her vision of what America is and should be in stark contrast to Trump. Now, Trump, he seems to be working hard to be sure his base gets out. He doesn't seem to be concerned about attracting other voters.
Sue, let's talk about the impact Gaza will have on this election. A few times now, Harris events have been interrupted by protesters who were calling for a ceasefire. And it seems her campaign has the most to lose because of what's happening in Gaza, especially in a swing state like Michigan. Why isn't the Trump campaign feeling the same heat?
Well, Corey, I think although, people who are much smarter than I am tend to point to several actions that Trump took as president that may have laid some of the groundwork for today's crisis. People are angry about what's happening in Gaza, but they also tend to be Democrats. So who are they mad at? They're mad at the Democrats. They're disappointed that President Joe Biden hasn't been able to really impact Israel's response to that Hamas attack. And I think they are more likely to be heard by the Democrats. And, of course, they have something the Democrats need that they would have been giving, which is votes. So I think they think they're in a better position to make demands.
All right, Sue, final question. For the first time in a long time, not one, but two major newspapers in the United States are deciding against endorsing a presidential candidate. Both the LA Times and the Washington Post said, nope, not getting involved. What do you make of those decisions?
Well, Corey, I think it's cowardice, pure and simple. Look, one candidate has been impeached twice and is a convicted felon. The other has never been arrested and is a successful lawmaker. Yet, for the first time in recent history, both papers decided not to endorse. What's up with that, right? The LA Times, their non-action seems to be a case of a new owner hedging his bets. But over at the Washington Post, look, that's a prestigious national paper. It's owned by Jeff Bezos. He's got a big stake, as everyone knows, in Amazon. He owns Blue Origin, which is a space company that has government contracts. And Bezos in the past has been the target of Trump. So it feels more like Bezos is putting his businesses ahead of the mission of the Post. The Washington Post slogan is "Democracy dies in darkness." But apparently it also dies when the owner has other businesses that he's trying to protect.
And let's remember, the Washington Post is a business itself. And I think by last check, NPR was reporting some 200,000 people had canceled their subscription. So
indeed,
tough day at the Post. Sue, thank you so much.